He's the most manipulative catfish you've ever had.
Before one of you mentions it, yes, I look very different from the actual thumbnail. I had to use an old picture because I needed to make that thumbnail last night because today, this is not a pre-gym Jada video. It's not a post-gym Jada video. It's a pre-airport Jada video, okay?
Surprise!
We have unlocked a new version of Jada videos. So yes, I am recording this video before I head on a trip. I'm gonna be vlogging it, so stay tuned for that. I won't tell you where I'm going till after I'm back and safe. Okay, but anyways, let's get into what really matters. This messy mess of a catfish episode. Someone said in the comments of a previous video that if I mention how many pages of notes I have, you're in for a treat. I've got 9 pages of notes on this one episode.
Cut the camera.
Okay, strap in, buckle in. It is another Laura episode, so big thank you to the bestie who requested this mess. It is truly a mess, okay? This is season 7, episode 40, Angel and Antonio. Nev and Laura have matching hair this episode, which makes me quite uncomfortable. I can't lie to you, but we move, I guess.
Shady.
We start the episode off by reading an email from 23-year-old single mom Angel who lives in Valdosta, Georgia. I believe I'm saying that properly, but not Georgia. We already know the messiest catfishes come from Florida, Georgia, or New York. Angel tells us that she's in an online relationship with a 25-year-old man named Antonio James who also lives in Valdosta.
Cut the cameras.
Okay. 2 things really quick. Tell me that isn't just a generic, obvious, fake catfish name, right? Like you can't tell me that it's fake because it's true and I'm right.
Shut up.
Second thing, you mean to tell me you and your mans live in the exact same city and he won't meet up? Let that man go, Miss Angel, expeditiously. Let him go. Angel's such a pretty name. I really love it. But she says that she and Antonio met in 2018 when he messaged her on Plenty of Fish, or what we call over here, Plenty of Catfish. Okay, it's just all catfishes over there. But she says that things went really well and they began chatting every day. Antonio is also apparently a single mother to a 4-year-old daughter. Now, why the hell would I call that man a single mother? So they bonded over this a lot.
Oh, bro.
Now, girl, please. Just think even just a little bit. This catfish is clearly just saying, yeah, same, to every bit of personal information that you have mentioned about yourself. So it's very likely these things are not even true.
Be fucking for real.
Antonio is apparently the sweetest person that she has ever met, and he also apparently works in a nightclub as a DJ while raising his 4-year-old daughter on his own. Okay, now, hold on. Hold the fuck on. This does not make very much sense to me. I am not saying it is impossible for this situation, this scenario to be true, but how many single father DJs do you personally know? 0. Zip. Zilch. Exactly. Angel tried to get them to meet up, but Antonio, of course, always found a reason for it to just never work out. Apparently, allegedly, he travels a lot for work, and since Valdosta is not a very big town, she is skeptical of who he is and believes that he's hiding something, which is good that she's skeptical and, you know, a little bit with it, but at the same time, obviously not all the way because she's still in catfish.
You know what? Keep not understanding, okay?
They waste absolutely no time and they hop on a video call with Angel. She tells us that she is a stay-at-home mom who recently started going back to school, and we don't find out what exactly for, we just know she's back in school. Angel says that she really loves Antonio, particularly because of how understanding he is. We then find out that both of Angel's parents have passed away, which is absolutely devastating. I cannot imagine how heavy this grief is, especially since they passed away right around the time she became a parent herself. My heart will always go out to those who have lost their parents. But Angel says that Antonio is very supportive and he will always be a shoulder to cry on when times are hard due to her grief. And I can understand why that sort of support would make her stay with someone even though she has a lot of questions about this whole scenario. Nev and Laura are like, oh yeah, that sucks so bad. But let's get back to the tea.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Why the hell haven't y'all met if you live in the same town?
You both seem to really like each other, and you live in the same small town.
I appreciate them for wanting to get to the information. However, I think they could have said this in a much better way and maybe comforted her as she's talking about the grief of her dead parents. But, you know,
Be nice.
to each their own, I guess. Angel recalls a time that Antonio told her that he was going to pop up at her house. She sent him the address, waited for hours, and he never showed up.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Oh my God. There are so many red flags here, glaring, blaring red flags. First of all, why the hell would you give a random man your address when you have no idea who he really is? Especially when he knows that it is just you and your very young daughter living there. That is stupid. That is capital S-T-U-P-I-D. Stupid.
B-I-C-T-H. And in that order.
But also, why the hell would you be waiting for him for hours? You live in the same city.
What's not clicking?
Let his absence, his lack of effort be a sign. Let that be enough for you to understand how he really feels about you. Actions speak louder than words, and this man's actions are screaming he doesn't give a flying fuck about you. God, it just makes me so mad to see people, particularly women, be treated badly in relationships, but especially by men.
No.
Men are very easy to understand. If he says he cares about you, but he's not doing anything to show that he cares about you, then he doesn't actually care about you. Antonio claims to have sent Angel his address, but mysteriously, she never received it. How convenient. Antonio always gives some sort of excuse as to why he can't video chat. He began to blame it on his phone, but then Angel found out that Antonio had a Facebook page that she didn't know about, so she sent him a friend request, and he never accepted her friend request, which is not shocking at this point. But again, between all of the other things that I have just told you and the fact that this man had a secret Facebook account that he didn't tell you about and didn't accept the friend request on, you need to move on. I just don't understand the logic in staying and being like, well, that's my man.
Wrong answer, forehead.
Clearly not. Clearly not. Nev and Laura clock all of this quickly, and they make it clear to Angel that she is in fact being catfished before they even do any of the investigation, before they even meet up with her. Angel does not help this obvious fact that she's being catfished anymore by saying that Antonio has only sent her one picture of himself that wasn't on his dating profile, and it was a picture of him in the hospital, hooked up to monitors and oxygen.
It was actually of him laying in the hospital.
What does it mean? Dummy, is you stupid? Is you dumb? Pick a side.
Angel says that Antonio was struggling with depression, and that picture was from them trying to figure out what was going on.
He was having some issues with depression, and they were basically trying to figure out like what was going on.
Girl,
Be nice. I'm finding it.
come on. You know what? That particular aspect of things is not going to get further comment from me, but just know that we're on the same page, okay? We're thinking the same thing, bestie. We absolutely are.
They're genuinely not smart.
Angel says that she knows for sure he lives in Valdosta, or he was in Valdosta, because at one point Antonio sent her pictures from their nightclub, and they're pictures that are apparently not online. This to me is even scarier of a situation, because now it's looking like this catfish lives in her town, he knows where she lives, he has so much personal information about her, and that now puts both Angel and her very young daughter in harm's way. Okay, Laura then does something that kind of made me mad. I'm not gonna hold you. She makes a comment praising Angel for not being naive.
I like it. Angel's on it. The fact that you even looked at that means that you're not being naive here.
And this is personally a statement I would have not made in this moment, because I can point out about 15 different ways that she is being naive and she's being capital S-T-U-P-I-D, and we are only 6 minutes and 10 seconds into this episode.
I said self? Wait a minute.
Nev, of course, makes a dad pun, and Laura hits back with another pun before agreeing to help Angel, hopping off the call and heading to Valdosta.
That's Valgosta.
Hopefully he doesn't Valgosta.
Nev and Laura's outfits are clashing, and I just wish they would have coordinated. Okay, that's not important to anything. That's just my personal thoughts right now. But they get to Angel's house, and the first thing they do is raid her cookie jar. We waste absolutely no time getting into the thick of it.
Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it.
And Angel says that her and Antonio have in fact exchanged I love yous.
Cut the cameras.
Don't piss me off, for real.
Which is interesting for a man who lives in your city and won't meet up. Okay. One of the other excuses Antonio has used for not meeting up is not having money for gas, which is an especially confusing excuse to me because they do live in a smaller town. And with how in love Angel is, I'm sure she would have happily picked him up or met him wherever was convenient for him, because she's down bad, down real bad. And just when you're thinking, how could this situation get even worse? How could it get even crazier?
Everybody's so creative.
Angel then tells us that Antonio has asked her for money multiple times, okay? Yeah.
Has he ever asked you for money?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
This is insane to me. Absolutely insane to me, because Angel is a stay-at-home single mother in school. She does not have parents. She does not have money to be sending out to a random internet biddy. And if Antonio really cares about her, he wouldn't even ask her, because he understands that taking money from Angel is just like taking money from her daughter, who relies on Angel and only Angel. It's disgusting and despicable behavior.
Bring back burning them at the stake. When did we stop that?
She then tells us that when Antonio was in the hospital, she allegedly received a message from one of his friends, which is okay.
Okay.
So she said, the friend, that if Angel loved Antonio, she would send him money.
She said if I loved him, that I would send him money. What?
First of all, she? Second of all, this is so exploitative and manipulative, point blank, period. I am not buying at all that this man was in the hospital, and I'm also not buying that her sending him money would all of a sudden make him feel loved and send his alleged depression running for the hills. No, that's not how that works. Angel then says, with a big fucking smile on her face, that she sent the money.
And what did you do?
I sent it.
Oh my God. And you sent it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was the first time she sent money, and then with an even bigger smile on her face, she tells us that she has sent him money multiple times. Girl, what? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Nev and Laura are genuinely unable to believe what they are hearing.
What?
I've sent almost like $400.
Now this just seems like a scam.
Angel says that she trusts him because early on in their relationship, Antonio gave her his bank account information so she could go in and pay his phone bill.
What about a casual nighttime drowning?
Girl, do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth? You trust him because he let you pay his bills? What sense does that even make? Girl, you're about to piss me off with that shit.
And you're about to piss me off when you do that shit too.
Nev clocks her and is like, hello, why can't he pay his own bills? Angel doesn't really answer that, but she says that when she went to pay the phone bill, a different name was attached to the account. Someone named Mr. Williams. Girl, you're really about to piss me off, Angel. You're really about to piss me off. Because at this point, the red flags are very loud, they're very in your face, but for whatever reason, you are just in complete denial, and I'm trying so hard to be mindful and understanding of the fact that she is grieving, she is a single mother, she is seeking companionship, she is seeking love, but this is not love. You are being used. You are being manipulated. It's also pissing me off because I just know she went ahead and paid that man's bill anyways, even though it's attached to a name that she does not know.
That's a sentence most of you will never have to say, yet I have to endure this.
Angel then says that when she asked Antonio who the hell Mr. Williams was, he didn't respond.
See how different that looks and how unsafe?
Interesting. So he's quick to respond when he wants some money, when he wants a bill paid, but the moment she has questions, ain't no back talk.
It's quiet, ain't no back talk.
Angel then says that she is frustrated because she has given him a lot and she has not been getting anything in return. If you ever feel this way in a relationship, then stop giving everything to that other person and redirect all that energy to yourself, or in Angel's case, to herself and her child, her very young child. For whatever reason, I think it gets me more riled up to see single parents on the show doing this type of mess, because it's one thing to risk your own life, your own sanctity, your own money, but it's another thing when you are responsible for another person and you are being selfish. We then see pictures of Antonio, and Laura immediately says that that guy is super hot, and Nev follows it up with, be so fucking for real.
The guy is super hot.
Come on, you're not talking to this guy.
Okay, I don't know, I would probably lose my fucking mind if I were Nev and my wife calls every guy super hot that she sees every time she's fucking co-hosting the show. But to me, it's clear that these pictures are stolen. Right? Like, it's grainy, it's pixelated, it's clear that these are not the original source photos. Angel says that she believes that she is talking to the guy in the pictures. So she's also delulu, like very, very delulu. But if a guy lives in your hometown, says that he loves you, asks you for money, and he claims to look like this, you just have to know that all of those things in tandem, it's bullshit, or he's a shitty person. Either way, you shouldn't want to be with him, right? And honestly, Nev is 100% right.
The perfect hot tattooed fake guy to use on a fake, like, classic catfish guy.
But damn, did you really have to say it like that? His approach, his delivery needs work sometimes. So that little tidbit from Nev left Angel speechless, so they move right along, ask to see his Cash App, and we see that she has sent him 21 different payments, totaling about $400. Now, this is very different than the couple or the few times she admitted to sending him money before they asked to see the receipts. So in my mind, this lets me know that she knows that she's doing something wrong, and that's why she tried to withhold that information. We then see a time where she sent him her last $10.
Here's one you sent him in April, said, all I literally have, $10.
Wow.
Now girl, why the hell would you do that?
Quickly.
I'm about to beat this bitch up.
Laura says what we are all thinking. This dude is coming off as a straight up scammer.
He goes on Plenty of Fish. He finds women that have gone through a tough time.
He is on Plenty of Fish and he goes after vulnerable women to get money. Instead of having an eye-opening moment, Angel decides to defend her catfish man and said that Antonio has told her that he isn't with her for the money and he really loves her. Girl, you believed him? Why would we believe a lying liar who lies? This is another allegedly single parent who is asking you to send him the last of your money knowing that you are a single parent, but you believe him?
You stupid.
Angel says that she feels a lot of love for him, and Laura looks over this entire situation, but not in the way that she's done with the episode, but in the way that she's ready to beat Antonio down for taking advantage of Angel. So they head out, and both Nev and Laura immediately agree in the car that they feel bad for her. Their car debrief is heated, and right now we are all on the same page of hating Antonio, but it seems like I'm alone on an island wishing that Angel would have some accountability in this situation for being naive and being quite desperate for love that she would put her and her daughter in harm's way by giving her address, her information, sending money to a random person who claims to live in her town. It's all too much for me right now. So they go to a classic cute cafe for their investigation and they waste no time getting right into things. They start by looking up Deja Vu nightclub and they deduce that the pictures Antonio sent are in fact from that bar. Nev, Laura, and I are very confused as to how or why he would even send pictures of where he really works when he is so clearly lying about everything else. Also, these pictures are not available anywhere else on Google. We find this out through a reverse image search. So clearly he took them or he got them from someone else who took them. It's just a weird situation. But we then head over to Antonio's Facebook page and we see that he only has 57 friends and all of them are women.
Can I make fun of you for a second?
We then see one of his posts from March, and honestly trying to figure out what this is supposed to mean gave me a real headache. It reads, I'm an music artist on the Rays, Team Easy, aka Easy to God. All I got from this is the person behind this account maybe trying to be in music of some kind somehow. Maybe, I don't really know. Nev and Laura then search up Easy to God and they instantly find the Instagram of the real person behind the pictures and they see that he has over 20,000 followers on Instagram. They send him a message just asking him to reach out. In the meantime, our temporary duo decides it would be a good idea to run Antonio's phone number and they get a hit right away. It comes back linked to someone named James Williams who also lives in Valdosta. And if you remember, this last name matches the last name that was attached to the phone bill. So we're getting closer and closer to figuring out who the fuck this is. Laura then calls the number and she acts like she's calling about Antonio's phone bill and a random lady picks up. Now, who the hell is this random lady?
Realizing stuff.
So the lady asks what they want to know because he's about to jump in the shower. And the lady then says that she is James's wife.
What do you need to know? I think he's about to jump in the shower. I'm his wife.
Oh, Lord. Laura panics and she hangs up, rightfully so, because what the hell is even going on right now? Out of all the things I expected to come from this investigation, I did not expect to find out that this man was married. So Nev and Laura then recap and they suspect that not only does Antonio or James or whoever the hell this is have a wife, but the wife is in on all of the mess, which would definitely be an insane and unexpected plot twist, but it's nothing we haven't seen before. Besties, if you know, you know. They then get a phone call from Sherry, who claims to be Easy to God's manager. Every time I see that name, I just get more and more disappointed because what the hell is even that?
What the hell is even that?
But Sherry then tells us that not only do they know about this catfish, they have been trying to get rid of him for years and they know that he is talking to women specifically to scam them out of their money. She claims that they have tried to get the pages taken down multiple times, but to no avail. They thank her for her time and they hop off the call. Laura absolutely loses her mind and then her and Nev take turns talking over each other, so I have no idea what the hell was even actually said. But they then decide that the only way to figure out who the catfish is and figure out what the hell is going on is to go to the club that he works at, so they head over to do just that. Both Nev and Laura peer in the door in true invasive Nev fashion. Security comes to the door and welcomes them in. They then speak to the owner, whose name is Cap. K-A-P.
Yes.
He says he doesn't know anyone named Antonio James or James Williams, which is not surprising. Cap then takes them back to look at the staff list, but of course, Nev ditches that idea as soon as he sees a group of beautiful black women, okay? And he says this.
Let's ask the ladies.
All right.
The women then say that they don't know who they're looking for. They've never heard of these people. Cap comes back out and confirms his earlier statements after looking at the staff list. Nev then shows them the pictures of the club, and everyone agrees that whoever sent Angel the pictures has been inside the club when it was closed earlier in the day, which means they must work there. But there's about 30 people who work there, so it could be anybody. The ladies say that they do have a resident DJ named DJ Easy, whose real name is Eric. Nev tries to get in contact with Eric. This lead literally goes nowhere. I just brought it up for the sake of honesty and transparency. But Nev leaves the bar and Cap and the beautiful ladies with his number and turns them into pseudo catfish investigators before everybody heads out to tell Angel the findings of their very messy and very confusing investigation. Angel is very, very, very delusional, and she believes that the person in the pictures is really who she has been talking to, and she believes that this whole relationship is real.
I'm hoping that it's actually him. The pictures and everything, like, they're real.
Girl,
be so for serious for a second, just 1 second. Nev quickly tells her that she is not going to like what they have to say and bursts her bubble of delusion right away. And normally I would be critical of this, but I appreciate him for this because I don't understand why Angel would still think all that even though Catfish is here. But they quickly fill her in on the findings of their investigation, and Angel is immediately upset when they tell her about James Williams and his wife, but she doesn't have much else to say throughout the information dump until she says that she has no idea who she's talking to, and Nev decides to rub salt in her wounds by saying,
So basically, I have no idea who I'm talking to.
Or if they care about you at all.
Now Nev, why would you say that to this poor girl?
Shut the fuck up.
His words, along with the weight of the situation, causes Angel to start crying and reflecting on how much she put into this relationship, only for her to have been deceived this entire time. However, she is still determined to figure out who is catfishing her and why they've done this.
I can't believe you've done this.
Nev then reassures her instead of making the situation worse, which thank God, finally. He just tells her that she is the victim, that she's a good person, and she hasn't done anything wrong.
You are a victim of a scammer, and it's awful. Because you didn't do anything wrong.
And I understand why he is saying this, but I feel like at times he needs to just find a healthy medium instead of jumping from one extreme of rubbing salt in the wound to the next extreme of placating the person and absolving them of any responsibility. Like, you don't need to tell the girl that the man she's in love with doesn't care about her, but you also don't need to make it seem like there's no ownership that she can take in getting in this situation in the first place. Like, the signs were there that she was being catfished, that this person was not being honest, that this person was using her, and her naivety is a part of the reason she's in this position. I want to be clear though, she is very much a victim. She was very much manipulated. She was very much taken advantage of, but I just feel like because she has a daughter, she had a responsibility to be a little less lenient with this whole situation.
That's my opinion!
They then decide to give Antonio a call, and of course it gets sent to voicemail. Nev then sends a message just saying, we are here with Angel and we want to meet. He keeps it very short, very sweet, very classy, very demure.
Very classy, very demure.
They say their goodbyes and head out while Angel sobs on the couch, and I honestly feel so bad for her. In a self-filmed shot that is way too close to her face, Angel says that she's devastated to hear that someone who she thought she was in love with is just using her for money.
Somebody is actually using me for just money.
The next morning, Nev and Laura get a message from Cap, the bar owner, who says that he has information that will help them, so they waste absolutely no time and they give him a call. He says that one of the other employees came in shortly after the show left and said that she overheard one of the security guards bragging about how he gets girls online, and he goes by the name Antonio online.
Got him. We fucking got him.
This security guard even began showing pictures of the women, bragging, showing off, and flexing because these women are apparently trophies of his.
It was telling the other employee that there was his trophies or something like that.
His trophies?
First of all, to objectify women in this way, absolutely disgusting, but to objectify them in this way after using, manipulating, and mistreating them is absolutely horrendous. Second of all, you are a big dummy for proudly talking like this, knowing that Catfish is in your town and they're hot on your heels. You're stupid.
You stupid.
Oh! But you can still be nice to me, girl.
But Cap says that this employee is actually currently at the bar with him, and he was actually the guy who let them in the bar the day before. What the actual fuck?
Actually, he was the guy who opened the door for you guys.
They make a plan to pick up Angel, go to the bar, and scope the scenery out.
I'ma scope the scenery out.
So they head into the bar. Angel sees the guard from afar. Another rhyme, y'all. Rappers, watch out, I'm coming for your gig. But Angel confirms that she doesn't know who he is. He introduces himself as Jay, and he acts oblivious as to what's going on. He denies even knowing who Angel is. Like, sir, we know it's you, okay? It's time to just be honest. You're about to piss me off. Laura says his full government name, and James just questions how they know his legal name, instead of taking this as an opportunity to come clean.
But your name is James Williams, right?
My legal name?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do y'all know my legal name?
Neve says, I'm pretty sure Angel has been talking to you, and after a long, awkward pause, James finally admits that he was in fact catfishing Angel. This confrontation is off to a very, very, very weird start. He is also just so emotionless about everything, while Angel is so emotional about everything. So it's a very interesting contrast. Angel then walks away crying. Laura follows her while Neve stays with James. Neve says that Angel is very invested in this relationship, and James has this weird, creepy smile on his face until Neve mentions how Angel is financially invested, which is definitely something, okay? The fact that his smile is instantly disappeared. James then tries to defend himself, and he says that the money was offered to him, but it was never his intention to get money from her.
You're taking money from Angel.
That was offered to me. It was never my intention.
What the fuck does that even mean? It wasn't my intention. Well, you did get money from her? But he and Neve then have this back and forth where Neve tries to get him to admit to scamming Angel, and James tried to make it seem like everything Angel did was completely voluntary and of her own free will. Angel would have never sent that man money if he didn't ask. Granted, she shouldn't have sent him money even when he did ask, but she wouldn't have done it if he didn't ask and make her feel like, oh, you have to. Like, he emotionally manipulated her into that.
What's not clicking? What's not clicking?
So Angel is in the car crying with Laura and says that the voice matches, so it's for sure him. Angel then says that she wants answers, so they head back inside. Everyone then takes a seat as Neve continues his line of questioning. James says that he's not married. He denies even having a house phone, which is stupid because they called it. He denies living with anyone.
I'm not married. I don't have a house. Nobody living with me, and I'm not married.
This is all very confusing because when they called his phone number that's attached to his legal name, someone claiming to be his wife answered the phone. Who would pick up the phone and lie about being someone's wife when a bill collector of all people is calling? That's weird to me, right? But Neve dismisses it by saying that it must have been a weird mix-up. I'm not sure I believe that, but I think he was just trying to move the confrontation forward. James says that he did send Angel his bank account information to pay his phone bill because he wasn't able to make it into the store that day to pay it himself.
But why can't you just pay your bill?
I wasn't able to make it to the store that day.
Sir, what the hell are you even talking about?
Don't piss me off.
James says that he does in fact have a daughter, and he claims to have catfished more than 100 women over the course of 15 years, which is insane. Insane. He then says that he loves Angel as a person, but not romantically.
You nasty.
Angel then speaks up for herself, which I absolutely love to see.
You really led me on to believe like you were somebody like that I could make a future with. It was just basically a game.
Nev and Laura laid the groundwork of protecting her and defending her, which I think allowed her to feel comfortable in confronting this musty, crusty, dusty man, because she definitely is a more soft-spoken lady. James says that he does feel bad, but Neve gets mad and says, no. If you felt bad, then why would you do it to hundreds of women for 15 years? You're a con artist, okay? T.
It just sounds like you're a con artist.
James then claims that it isn't about money, but Laura isn't buying that either. She brings up the whole hospital scenario, which honestly feels like we talked about years ago at this point. James says that he doesn't remember, but he claims that every story he's told Angel was true. Okay.
Every story that I told you, I was just telling you what I was going through at that time. And I didn't ask for that money.
He then continues to adamantly claim that he never asked or told Angel to send money. It was always offered, which is bullshit because we saw the messages. And thank God, Nev and Laura call him out for that too. Angel then clocks back in and she says that he would make her feel guilty if she didn't send him money, and she also confronts him about the fact that she sent him her last $10. Meanwhile, he's been lying this whole time.
What about that? What about that?
James says that he doesn't remember that.
If it didn't come from me, it's not true. I have no idea.
It's very convenient that this man does not remember the things that make him look bad. And by convenient, I mean it's obvious he's lying, okay? Like, let's be real. He then has the audacity to say that his intention was never to scam anyone.
How, Sway?
Nev gets mad, and rightfully so, says that that's not true.
The intention is never to scam anyone.
But that's not true, because you've talked to hundreds of people.
He asks if James is ready to be real, and James then continues to say some more bullshit, which I'm really tired of hearing at this point. Like, I got a 7-hour flight ahead of me. Oh my God, this man's pissing me off. This man is just talking in circles. It's clear that he doesn't feel bad for what he's done, what he's doing, and talking to him is going nowhere. James then tries to act like he did all of this as a coping mechanism. He used the picture as a shield because he was bullied in school. Sir,
this level of delusion needs to be studied.
Disrespectfully, you are in your 30s.
Be fucking for real.
You have been out of school now longer than you have ever been in school. Yes, bullying is very serious. It can really mess with a person's psyche. However, I'm not understanding how people making fun of your weight leads you to scamming single mothers. I do not understand that connection at all. Angel is like, sir, I was also bullied, but I would never do what you have done.
I was bullied, but I'm not gonna hide behind a picture and treat people the way that I got treated. That's not right.
Laura says that she wants to believe James, but he's a liar.
You are once again lying, which doesn't surprise us because you're a liar.
And we only know that it is in fact James who is catfishing because he was bragging about doing all of this mess to his coworkers. James, of course, denies it and then says that he has a problem. He wants to stop catfishing, blah, blah, blah. But he wants to be friends with Angel, claims that there was never any romantic feelings he had for her. Thank God Angel shuts that all the way down. She's like, I don't want to be your friend. What the fuck? Run me my money.
Just give me my money.
James then gives a very disingenuous apology.
I'm truly sorry. Like, honestly, for all of this.
And Nev tells him, if you really mean that, run our girl her money. Now. They thank James for his time, they thank Cap for his help, and they head out. In the car, everybody just rants about how James is clearly a lying liar who lies, okay? Like, that's very evident. But Laura then claims that James is the most manipulative catfish to have ever been on the show.
He's the most manipulative catfish you've ever had.
Angel says that from here on out, she is just focused on her daughter and school.
Girl, don't play.
In our 2-month follow-up, Angel says that James texts her, but she has no feelings for him. She says that he has not paid her back, which isn't particularly surprising to me. But Angel then says that she is in another online situationship of sorts, which to me is quite annoying because she said 2 minutes ago she's not focused on men. She's focused on school and her daughter. I don't know. I'm not trying to downplay the desire for love or that need for companionship. It's just very frustrating to me because it seems like Angel's love life is top priority. She barely talked about her daughter in the episode. James says that he is no longer catfishing, but I personally don't know if I believe him. But Nev and Laura pressure James to pay Angel back, and that is the end of this episode. Thank frickin' God.
Bring back burning them at the stake. Whatever happened to just doing that?
All right, besties, I still have a little bit of packing and last minute things to do, so unfortunately I don't have a very long intro for you. I said a lot of my thoughts throughout the episode. Make sure to let me know your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions down in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're aware of every single time that I upload, okay? If there's another episode you'd like to see me cover or another show you'd like to see me cover, you can drop it down in the comments below and leave a little airplane emoji in the comments if you watch all the way to the end because you're a real one and I'm about to go on my birthday trip. All right, I'll see y'all in the next video, whenever that is, and who knows what it'll be. Bye.